Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Competitive Speed Series. We are here in not sunny America. It's very nightimey over in Las Vegas right now, but we are here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and well, 2 weeks in a row, Ollie. This is two races that you're not 100% sure on yourself, but it's going to be a good one because it's kind of very similar in the sense of one major overtaking opportunity from a DRS train.
Now, Gareth, it is that big train coming from 12 down to 14, isn't it? I'm sure the drivers will, as they always are, opportunistic when it comes to overtaking, and they'll try in every single corner if they can. But very much looking forward to for this one. First Las Vegas commentary. I've heard good things. If Qatar's got anything to go by, it was great last week, so I'm sure they'll give us another great race as they have done all season, Gareth.
Let's have a quick look at the standings before we properly go out on track. And, well, BRT still leading the way there with a 16-point gap. And then TTM, the reigning champions, I'll add, are 2-2-2 on points at the moment. It's still pretty close at the top with Team Shizou just outside there as well.
Yeah, it's getting, coming to the end of the season now, and it's getting close. You could argue top four still in this, Shizou just about hanging on. But I mean, personally, I think it's is in within the top three now. I mean, BRT had just extended that lead a little bit more now, and what's that? 16 points for first and second. As we already know, how quickly races can change, and how the calendar can change, how the standings can change as well. So we'll see whether that gets a little bit closer at the end of this Las Vegas Grand Prix, Gareth.
Yeah, qualifying's just about kicking off with... Gabble is going to be the first driver to set a lap time, but we will quickly just say there is 3 rounds remaining, and obviously with 35 points for a victory here, in each of those 3 rounds remaining, anything is really still to play for. But anyway, let's go to the actual scene where a lot of you guys will be interested in, and that is the guys on track as there, Gabble coming through. And that looked like a little bit of a mistake there through turn 5. Back end just stepped out slightly. There has been a recent game update as well, which could have forced a few people to change their driving styles. We'll have to wait and see to see how it all does pan out. There is now no CRE. CRE is, we've only got 18 drivers now, so CRE, unfortunately, no longer with us on this case. And, Gabble taking out the bollard there as they come through, I think, turn 12, and now into the DRS activation point of turn 13. DRS will be wide open from about now, as it has done, and this is a major point. You can really have some, DRS fun and games here as you head into turn 14. You kind of don't want to be in the lead in this, and that's a big mistake through that little bit of a kinky bit of 14, 15 and 16 as Gabble now heads on down into the curb of 17 and across the start-finish line to set a banker lap of a 129.8.
Yeah, good banker lap early in for Gabor. Again, just feeling how the car is around this street circuit. Again, still new to a lot of people. It's only recently put on the game, so we're still getting used to the circuit. I'm sure this guy has done enough practices. They always do as he comes down. Obviously, the second DRS zone we have on this circuit. As you can see, the spear in the background. Lighting up in the F1 colours. I'm sure we'll get plenty more laps to discuss as the drivers go around the circuit. Just trying to pay attention to different parts of the circuit. Gareth, some of the corners remind me of Baku. They're just before you get onto the big straight, and then obviously other parts remind me a bit of Monaco, but then again Miami as well. The big long straight that we've got here in Vegas. So obviously using the straight layout that they have in Vegas, but trying to utilise the best they can. And it's a lot better than Caesar Palace as we had back in the 80s. It's just a literal car park. So a lot nicer than that. But a couple of drivers have set their lap times with Ogween, Supply Raptor, Crowding, Liam Hardman, Misha, Kieran, Arunka, and another Kieran all setting lap time, but no one toppling Gabor at the moment with a 129.8 at the current provisional poll.
Yeah, it's a pretty, actually, looking at it, it's a very good banker lap there from Gabble, because in PlayStation, Lifeboat managed to claim pole with a 129.6 with his ET8 teammate Casper Flack doing a 129.676, and Lifeboat put it a 129.645 as we on board with Bourbon Boy as he heads on through turn 12 and into this little bit of a long straight where you can get a massive tow from the car ahead if you are the car behind. That's because that's how that works. But yeah, you don't really want to be the first car going into turn number 14. And the PC side of things, I think it's Jeremy Gallagher. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Got pole position with a 129.487. There's Bourbon Boy with a 130.5. Let's see if any of these guys will manage to, I don't know, topple those times. But looking at the CSS comment, it's poll time should be poll time shouldn't be the same. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. There has been a game update, Ollie, so we can't really use too much data from previous. The previous 2 rounds on the console, console and PC. But interesting at the moment. MVR leading the way.
Yeah, obviously, MVR Gabor just not is holding the fort at the moment. Quantum yet to do a lap time. See whether he is flying around them. He is. He's coming into the second, ending the second year, so into. That would be turn 5 on this long, almost 90-degree corner, long 90-degree corner, into 7, 8 and 9, hops over the curb. I can't imagine there'd be too much corner cutting here, Gareth. I mean, obviously you've got the chicanes of 12 and 14, which might be controlled for the drivers. He hugs the left side before he enters this chicane, just about scrapes the wall on the outside, and he's heading straight down this long old picture. Like I said, the main overtaking opportunity will be at the circuit. I'm sure may even see 2, 3 abreast coming down towards turn 14 here in Vegas. Got his head down, GS wide open, as much as he can on this hot lap, and see if he can match his teammate into the heavy braking zone of 14. Kisses the curb on the inside, hops curb on the right, and then over, hugging the wall on the left. Come down the last flat out section of the lap, around one final corner of 17 towards the line, goes over the curb, and it is not very far off his teammate at all, around 2 tenths behind his teammates with a 130.0704 for Quantum. So the MVR team showing what they're made of, Gareth, and especially with only obviously 4 rounds including this one left of the season, and how close they are to VRT. It's what they need to do in these races to try and close that gap down to take the top spot in the standings.
Yeah, let's see what Kieran Mag can do. They're on a lap time through at the moment, I believe, coming through this really windy bit of turns 7, 8 and 9, which can really catch some drivers out. And you want to be aggressive, but you also don't want to push those tyres too hard. But obviously in qualifying, you want to take every inch of life out of them as humanly possible on your pace lap, as he nearly collects the barrier there at the exit of turn 12. And one thing that I will say from Quantum's lap there, he was very, very smooth through 14, 15 and 16. Probably the smoothest we've seen from anyone that we've been on board with through that section. Let's see how a little bit. That is very, very nasty, unfortunately, for Kieran. Let's see who else could be on a lap time. I've mentioned his name. Ogween is on a lap time and just coming through the same part of the track. Again, possibly not smooth as Quantum was, but as they head on now down through out the exit of 16, full throttle all the way. Gabor goes quicker still, and that is very close to the PlayStation benchmark as Ogween goes to a 129.8. And you know what, Gabor, it's mentioned that the other side of things over at PlayStation and PC would be quicker because they had more ERS. Gabor, I don't think Gabor got that memo.
No, I don't think he did. As Gareth just said, before we talk about Gabor, just a retirement, I think Crowding, unfortunately, has made a mistake coming out at 12. They hit the wall, and he is out of the Grand Prix. But Gabor doing what he knows best and taking pole for now with a 29.6 flying lap, and especially with Ogwin right on his heels if he hadn't done a quicker lap. So again, the benchmark has been pushed back once again. Whether anyone could challenge that, we'll have to wait and see. 7 minutes 30 left of this session. But Gabor, Gareth, showing early pace, and one to keep an eye on when it comes to race time for sure.
Let's see how Aronka can do, but that's a good lap time. It's a good starting point for Gabor. MVR, they need this, especially with BRT crowding. The BRT team having one of their drivers knock out. It's good, I suppose, from a points perspective for NVR. If you're an NVR fan, obviously there's still TTM, who have TTM Dettel, who is retired. So I'm guessing that is down to penalties. I have to admit I haven't looked at the penalty situation for this week. Stupid decisions will probably come to light at some point for me, but yeah, Dettel and Mulder as well retiring early doors. Crowding, I think, is the only one that has made a decision, well, to unfortunately crash.
Yeah. Again, that 12 corner just reminds me of the uphill cow section in Azerbaijan, just without the elevation. And yeah, he must have just hit the wall on the outside, like I'm sure many drivers have during their practice laps, trying to push the limit. And unfortunately, Crowding retiring early, and he'll start the best of 8th place here. And that's obviously not great for BRT to try and hold their lead in the championship. You know, he could fall right down the grid, obviously be ahead of both Dettel and Mulder, but there are plenty of time for drivers to improve their lap times here. So not ideal for BRT, but see what Finn Bob can do here, whether try and avenge his teammate and try and get it as high as he can in this qualifying section. Comes round towards the end of sector number 2, flat out, DRS wide open, going down the second DRS straight. Do you think we'll see many overtakes at the section, Gareth? Obviously, we've spoken about the main DRS area, but coming down the second one, is there much chance for overtaking there? Is it a case of getting a good exit coming out of 3 and 4?
Definitely a good exit is required. I mean, for those of you who've seen last season, or on the last game, it was possible from on WR. There was plenty of overtakings in that area. As Nail Guitt, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, has abandoned his lap time. But Finn Bob, yeah, definitely into the corner of turn 5 and then through there is possibility. You just need to you need to be perfect, and the driver ahead needs to be not so perfect.
Yeah, usually the way it goes, isn't it? But yeah, no, I guess just looking at it, just to look at the circuit map guide, and some of the corners remind me of as mentioned, section of Miami, Azerbaijan, Singapore. So it's just interesting to see where the drivers will try and make the moves. Obviously, there's the obvious places, but just curious where else they could make moves. Obviously, don't want to compromise yourself. You know, don't want to make any overtakes coming into 11 or 12, compromise yourself in the straight. So yeah, just curious to see how they do it, as Finn Bob's going around again. It looks like he was quickest in the final sector, has pumped him up to 4th place, but he's quickest in, obviously he looks like he might go round again. He's not slowed down this lap, so keep an eye on Finn Bob as he goes round. But 3 minutes 58 still, Gabor on top, still waiting in the pits at the moment. We'll see whether he comes out to try and defend at 29.6 and try and improve on that shortly.
I think that would be Finn Bob just trying to get back to the pits as quickly as possible, because it's very similar to Qatar. You don't have that ability to use all his ERS. You just don't have you won't have any ERS left to play with. But Supply Raptor, I possibly could be on a lap time. No, he darts over to the left hand side. He's going into the pits. There is an out lap for Bourbon Boy. I believe Bourbon Boy could very well be the first driver to set their final laps with 3 minutes left of the session remaining. Nails out as well. Quantum could very well be. Quantum's got to be coming into the pits, I think. So we'll have to wait and see. from that one. But Bourbon Boy through turns. No, this just a little bit of a sweeping section, I guess you could call it, as 10, 11, and then into the hard braking zone of 12.
Yeah, it's again flat out, isn't it? Pretty much coming round 10, 11, isn't it? Trying to maintain the momentum coming out of 9, isn't it? And heavy breakers in a 12 and trying to set yourself up. You want to point that car straight down towards 13 and 14, aren't you? You don't want to lose any sort of momentum. So obviously trying, I think Bourbon Boy just, again, what with tyres at the moment before he sets his flying lap, and this likely will be his only flying lap here. Well, sorry, his second flying lap, with currently on the 30.5. Be looking to improve on that. His teammate yet to set a lap time down in 18th, who again is on a flying lap, but not surprised. We've not seen any teamwork here in qualifying, Gareth. Obviously, with such a long straight, you could benefit quite significantly with some slipstream.
I'm not sure with the collisions turned off. I'm not sure if that affects the slipstream through this. But yeah, you're right. It's if that isn't a thing, then maybe. Yeah, well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how it will pan out. There's a lot of drivers. There's a lot of gaggle. There's two separate kind of gaggles of cars at the moment. As Bourbon Boy now heads through the tight part of 7, 8, and 9, and he's got a little bit of traffic. Thankfully, that's not going to cost him much time because of the ghosting of the cars, because that is the way the lobby's set up, because of the issues with yellow flags and disqualifications, because drivers are trying to go slow just to make sure they give each driver enough of a space between themselves and the other cars. Obviously, that's still an issue here in F1 24, and here's Bourbon Boy now heading on down. It looks like he is holding battery, so he is probably maybe holding out for another lap. Now flying down into turn number 14 instead, then he's invalidated. He's not going to go any higher than 5th.
Yeah, I mean, a decent lap from Nail there. But again, not going into the pits now, so not ideal. A couple of mistakes, I think. EV9 is also retired from the session as well, in the sort of the midfield section of 7, 8, and 9.
I don't think they were meant to be in the lobby. That's an Alpine. I don't think they were meant to be here. But interesting. Gabble then through turn 12. It's a lot of pressure to make sure he stays on pole, because I'm sure Alguin is going to be pushing in the Shizou Red Bull car, just slightly behind, I think. So Gabble needs to make sure this is perfect, heading on down into turn 14. He has passed that second sector split, so it's very much keep it as tight as possible. It's not, again, it doesn't seem as smooth through that part as his teammate Quantum. Quantum is now stuck in 3rd place, not going to go any higher than this. Here comes, though, Gabble across the line. It's a 29. It's a 29.5. That's a solid lap time for the NVR man. Shazug Ogwin, then, his closest rival in all this, heading down through turn 13. There's a lot of pressure on him at the moment.
Huge pressure with Shazoo wanting to improve on their standings and try on the outside of that top group of teams in P4, where they can hold that. But again, Ogwin was slow through the first part of 14, and that could have cost him some time. He's pulled over the inside. I think that is him retiring yet, Gareth. He's not happy with the lap and won't improve, and it looks like Gabble will be upholstered here.
It doesn't look like anyone else can set a lap time. Finbob has invalidated. He's done and dusted. That is qualifying over, and Finbob will throw himself into the pits. Bobbitt's then in 7th place, so very good for Shazoo from a decent perspective on that side. But BRT crowding, managing to stay 8th, considering he retired early on because of crashing out. That's a lifeline sent to BRT.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just thinking, what could have been with BRT? Obviously, still crowding an 8 is not bad, Gareth. There's time to catch, but Gabor, almost 4 tenths quicker than Ogwin in second. That's quite a statement for our pole man.
It definitely is solid lap time from him, and really doing everything that he could. It doesn't look like we're going to get the timing screen into this one. We're not, so we can't say for certain who was where and how and what. But what we can do is finally actually head on over to the standing screen and have a proper talk about this one. Obviously, BRT leading the way with 16 points to Novus in second there. That can be eaten away quite quickly, especially with how strong it looks like NVR are at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, again, qualifying is one thing, that's the thing, guys, and the race is another. We've seen how quick they have been in the past, and then NVR put themselves in a great position in this race. BRT struggling, obviously, was it fourth and eighth, fifth and eighth. Not ideal for them. So we'll have to see how it all pans out once we reset the lobby here. But NVR in a great position here to secure take the lead of the championship.
And they definitely are, and they need to do whatever they can through this. And yeah, it's a lot easier said than done. The pressure's on, and especially at a circuit like this, the pressure is quite high to make sure you don't lose ground or anything like that. But BRT and Novus, then there's TTM, and TTM have seen just a little bit just off the boil. They're the reigning champions, and while they're still in the championship fight, they're 38. Is that right? 38 points behind BRT. It just seems like while it can be eaten away, three rounds and this race, it can all go against them.
It seems we haven't spoken much about TTM the last couple of races, guys. Obviously, the first couple, Detol, I can remember talking about him plenty of times, but as of recent, it doesn't feel like we've spoken much about them at all. So something for them to try and work on. I've not got the screen to check where they are. In standing, but of course, one of them's starting from the back, isn't he? So it's something that they need to figure out coming into this race now, and how they go about it. Do they try? They're gonna have to try something different to try and maybe hope for a safety car. Being a street circuit, that can definitely happen. So we'll have to wait and see how TTM go about this, because they need to try something a little bit new, because they're there, but it's just who were right in their asses. Really, we're only 20 points behind. In P4.
It didn't help, obviously, with TTM. Placky getting pretty much a 4-place grid drop from the last race, and that's cost some big points for TTM. They could have been, I don't want to say level with Novus, but they're there or thereabouts with that. And it has cost them big time on the points side of things there. But let's go towards the bottom end of the table. TIE. I think they came into the league a couple of races later, same time as you joined, to be honest, Ollie. So to be right up there with XPG with 4 points separating them, that's pretty good going, to be honest. 2 races left. Done a good job there.
Oh, absolutely. When you've joined after a couple of races and you're already on the back foot to be involved. To take yourself off the bottom step, it's a great achievement, isn't it? And whether they can do that with 3 rounds remaining, is it? So we got 8, 9, and 10 remaining from right, I think, Kath. What was it? You want to? I can't remember the top of my head. Should have asked.
No, I should know this answer. Anyway, let's move on. AMS, another team that's done fantastic, to be honest. They've had is it Cryo Silo had a fantastic couple of races, really causing a few people some problems over in Qatar, and then the race before in Zandvoort as well. Yeah, some definite room for improvement, obviously, but he's not here tonight, but the drivers can do some stuff.
Oh yeah, hopefully, we've seen plenty from them, and Salo has really put the cat amongst pigeons, isn't he? At Spa, he was good as well. Um, and at Qatar, he was great as well. So it's unfortunate he's not available this evening. Maybe Vegas isn't his circuit to race at, but we'll see whether they can hold their own without him tonight. I mean, he's a big character for that team, so they must have taken him out for a reason potentially, or maybe he's obviously not available. But if they're taking him out for a reason, if they're taking him out, obviously there must be a reason behind it.
Yeah, because he's very, very rapid, isn't he? But yeah, with no CRE now, it really does open the door for that fifth place team. FRT can catch that and possibly get involved. We're looking at, obviously, the V-Carb drivers. They've got a real chance of doing something. They just need luck to go their way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm just debating in my head, Gav, whether that it has split now, whether it is top four and everyone else, or maybe it's split into three. You got BRT down to Team Shazoo, CRE down to FGE, and then you've got the bottom two teams. Not that I want to put anyone out of it, but they're going to need one hell of a last couple of races to try and make a name for themselves as we get. So we're going to get going shortly, but it's all interesting. They've all got their own little battles, haven't they, going on in the standings, and they're it's all. I mean, it's a fight within a fight, isn't it? So we'll see how they all pan out with a few races to go over the season. And,
obviously. I was going to. Sorry, I didn't realize. I thought you had finished. I was going to say,
no.
Obviously, you want to be at the top of that,
Absolutely.
that tree. But sometimes, just being involved in a battle for a position really does help with mentality of keep going and not just making it just a run of the mill. I'll just turn up and do whatever. It kind of keeps you going.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's having something to fight for is always going to help, isn't it? And it keeps you going sometimes, and sometimes you come back from work or school or whatever, and you don't want to be there, but if you've still got a chance to maybe get into the top three or take the title, it's definitely something to look forward to and keep motivated. Had a quick look at the calendar, Gareth, and we've got including this one, 4 rounds remaining. Next week is a mystery GP, then Hungary, then Japan.
Yeah, what a way to end the season. Some real tough. Well, the final two, historic tough tracks.
Absolutely.
Hungary, you need a decent pole time, but you can undercut, you can overcut, you can do quite a lot with Hungary. And with Japan, we've seen time and time again that can be a real nail-biting race. We will be underway very, very shortly. We're just waiting for just basically an approval, I guess. So racing here will be very, very short. Well, very, very shortly underway. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to take victory tonight. Is it going to be MVR? Is it going to be TTM? Is it going to be BRT? Or can Shazoo do something special with Ogween and Bobberts around? Ollie, over to you with that question.
I can't see anyone other than Gabor winning this with his qualifying pace, Gareth. It's going to have to be some monumental effort by Ogween or even Quantum, his teammate, to take that off him. I think things may have to go a bit wrong with regard to the racing. Safety cars could affect things as we get racing very shortly.
We are on 5 red lights here in Las Vegas, and away we go. It looks like a pretty decent start straight away from Gabor and Quantum as well. Ogween is under incredible pressure from Quantum as they head on round turn 1 into turn 2. Ogween has the outside line of Quantum. That's going to get confusing through all this, but I think Ogween's going to hold out for the time being as it's a drag all the way down to turn 5. And the inside line is Quantum, and it's MVR 1-2 as they head through turn 5. And all of a sudden, Supply Raptors decided to join the fun. but I think it's just a bit too much on the outside line, and Finbob trying to go in on the inside of Supply Raptor, and there's a little bit of argy-bargy between the two of them.
Yeah, trying to get his wheel in, didn't he? Just couldn't make his way through a difficult place to make any sort of overtake of Bob's Ogwin down from second to third. Supply Raptor trying to get involved, but not the right time as we get on to the first time. Oh, it was a huge mistake from Gabor. The back end steps out, and that could be an opportunity for Quantum and Ogwin to get past.
Supply Raptor with the medium compound of tyres to start this Grand Prix. He's going to be quicker. He's going to be the one to watch. Quantum goes to the outside as they head towards 14. The MVR drivers need to work together to stop Ogwin getting involved, and I think that was a very kind of a wise idea for Ogwin. He's seen that the compound of tyres is better for Supply Raptor at this point in the race, but I think he actually made a little bit of a mistake as he came through turn 16, sorry, as he's now caught back through.
He just lifted.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he knew he was coming up the inside, and like you said, I think the fact that Tycoon, he knows they're going to battle, he's going to sit there and wait for a mistake to look.
So Supply Raptor all over the back of Quantum on lap 2 of 25. Gabor led the way. Quantum and Ogwin had a drag race down into turn 5. And it was all good. I'm just turning the game volume down a little bit. Hopefully that's better for everyone's ears. Let me know, because if it isn't, I will do it again. But yeah, Supply Raptor, third place. He hasn't been able to make a move past Quantum yet.
No, he's on his gearbox. He's going to have to utilize his tyres, isn't he, Gareth? In these early echelons of the Grand Prix. Gabor's managed to get a bit of a gap now. Nails this corner this time around as they hop over the curve of 12 onto the straight. No DRS just yet. Ooh. As they fly and look at the speed of Supply Raptor. They're not even using DRS yet. Oh, so there we go. It is available on this app, but both should be able to get our race leader here. The speed difference of Supply Raptor flies up the inside. They're going to be side by side through here, and he's not brave enough to take the inside line there. Allows Gabor to stay ahead for now. Got a wheel bang in the background against the wall on the outside, but Supply Raptor, again, very rapid. But look at the difference of Quantum around the outside, using the equalizing the slipstream there, and they move back in a second.
Yeah, his teammates making sure he's got a little bit of a roadblock, but the grip is better on Supply Raptor at the moment, but it's just not going to be enough. There is a crash with Neon Lolpole and Liam Hardman, and they are now way down, and I think TTM Vettel might have been involved in that as well, and TTM are not going to be happy with that because currently their drivers are 8 and 16. Quantum still holding station in front of Supply Raptor for the time being, but Supply Raptor really needs to get in the middle of these drivers and then get Ogwin involved. Ogwin and Bobbers are now side by side. This is a good race for Shazoo currently. Yeah,
at the moment obviously Bobbers getting past Finbob. Crowding's lost a place from where he started. Could have been to Golden Boy and some more medium tyres, but yeah, it's interesting to see how they utilise the strategy here as the top two neck and neck. As something broke up, it looked like could have just been the bollards. But down they go, down the main straight here for the third time. Wonder whether Quantum will let his teammate past here, and they work together in this session. It looks like he's going to let him fly on by. The Supply Raptor utilise this now. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move, but like we've already mentioned, getting needs to utilise the tyres early on in this race because they'll fall off earlier than his hard tyres as Finbob gets back past Bobbert.
Yeah, they need to, Bobbert's actually making a bit more of a mistake because he's now being caught by Bourbon Boy as well, as Crowding now the fastest man. Oh, sorry, typical the fastest man on the track. But Bobbert's down 2 places, which is not ideal for Shazoo. BRT Crowding back up into 8th there, with now just losing out, which is, again, not good for TTM, but good for BRT. They're getting into it. They need to get higher up, though, because MVR are looking like they're controlling this one.
Yeah, they are at the moment. I think Raptor's just not utilising his tyre the best he can. He's, again, it's difficult to overtake the circuit, like we've mentioned already, and he's trying his best coming out of 3 and 4, but with Gabor and Quantum helping each other with DRS, you can't get by at the moment, trying to utilise your tyres, but just unable to at this current moment in the circuit. It's a big early braking. Oh, there's contact! That's Supply Raptor hitting the back by Ogwin. I don't know whether if he broke early. As Gabor did, but I don't know whether it damaged the back of, the front of that Suzuka there.
So just checking volumes on my side, making sure that the game sound wasn't destroying people's ears. But yeah, no, that was a bit of a scary moment there for Ogwin, as Bourbon Boy unable to find a way past Finbob through there as well. Yeah, very, very tough start for the Grand Prix, but MVR still, again, leading it. Supply Raptor just not being able to find a way through their teamwork.
No, again, I think he may be able to get past one of them if they went together and then down towards 2-5. You've got DRS, but just can't utilise it at the moment in this race. But neither is Gabor really pushing Quantum either. They're working together well, trying to help each other to break that gap, and obviously doing well. The team is focusing on that team fight as the league has been. So as they come through the middle section here, we're making any brave moves coming into 6 there. But Ogwin doesn't look like that punt earlier into the back of Supply Raptor's damage to his front wing. Still looking pacey, and Finbob not being able to make his way through either. But this could be a great opportunity now if we can nail this corner once again. Raptor up to the curve there. And now he's in a great position to go to try and get past the ball.
This is the time for Supply Raptor to do something. Quantum's kind of left his teammate in a little bit of trouble as they head through down into this back straight and down into turn 14, 15, 16. But I think maybe that was just enough as Ogwin looks to the inside, but nothing on this occasion. Lap 5 of 25, and it's very chess-like at the moment, but still still MVR leading this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think chess like is a great analogy, Gareth. They're trying to almost pick your move 2 or 3 corners ahead of time, try and utilise that as both the ball was about to slide into turn 1. There, Ogwin just and then last has been Bob, but to no avail at this current moment in the race. But just to know how long with tyres will keep up with the hard run again, the mediums that are on Supply Raptor, and then trying to utilise the best he can, but can't make his way through this little fight. They're all the way down to, well, that is all the way down to the other that was all the way back to, I was quite far actually, all the way down to FRT typical in 12 plays actually. Not just spoken about the guys further back, but any mistakes from the top runners could cause a bit of concertina effect and make them work their way through some of these top drivers, so keep an eye on that. The top 4 trying to break away from Bourbon Boy here as they hit the curve again at turn 12, and will we see any more moves coming down towards turn 14? I think Quantum's just quicker coming through that chicane, coming on to the back straight here to get towards the line. It's able to nail it and get enough momentum to stay ahead of Raptor here. And again, Quantum, so Ogwin just can't make his way through. Again, he's just stuck there. And Finbob, you've got to be careful. Finbob is right in his gearbox as well, so you've got to be careful not to make any mistakes. And Bourbon Boy took a lot of time in the last lap or so, now almost a second behind in the top 5.
It could be time for the mediums not to be at their best. You're probably looking at around lap 11 for these guys to really push for the pit stops. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe a little bit further for the medium side of things. So that's Supply, Bourbon Boy, Typical, and Neon Lolpo. But yeah, Bourbon Boy's struggling, but he's straight back in there. Maybe a mistake, maybe something happened, I'm not 100% sure. But he's straight back within that DRS a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what it is. Again, got enough gap to crowd and behind him. Should be okay for now, but keep an eye on those gaps as they progress through this race. Keane gets past the Runkers, so Runkers go straight back. Watch out for Supply Raptor here. Can he finally get past one of the NBR drivers? No, he can't. And I think it's not helping Onqueen either, because Onqueen has to slow down. Contact, and the McLaren's around, and that is Gabor potentially out of this Grand Prix, guys. Contact between the McLarens hitting the wall, one bounce into the other, and that could be Supply Raptor trying to take the lead. Side by side coming across the line. Watch that Onqueen on the inside, up he goes. A little bit of wheel bang coming through turn 1. He's got the inside. You have the outside for 3 and 4 here. Bimbo the third now as well, getting past Supply Raptor. And Onqueen got the opportunity here to take the lead in this Grand Prix. After that instant between both the NBR drivers, up the inside he goes, flying through DRS wide open. And out of nowhere, Onqueen has gone from 4th to 1st in a small massive corner, Gareth.
That is huge, absolutely huge. And the team managers at MVR are going to be fuming. It's not really Quantum's fault. It was a bit of a tank slapper, and his teammate's just the next driver there. It could happen to any team, but it's happened to MVR, and Quantum is suffering. I don't know if that is damage to his car or what, but he is 0.7 of a second behind Alguin all of a sudden, and this could be problematic for NVR from being near certainty to take maximum points. All of a sudden it could be no points at all, it feels like.
Absolutely, as now comes in more pain as Spinbob dives it up the inside, come down towards turn 14 here. Can he get him on the brakes? They're catching up with Ogwin here. I think he might be too far ahead, but late on the brakes by Quantum. Oh, there's more contact there, and that's Quantum around as well. More contact at this final corner. Sorry, turn 14, 15, Gavin, typical because of penalty and all that. And that's gone from bad to worse in a lap for NVR. Quantum down to 8th place now. There could be a penalty for Finbob later on with the Steelers guys, but NVR had a horrific lap there.
Yeah, that is not going to go down in the history books as MVR's finest hour, as Quantum now being passed by now TTM there. Bobbitt's behind crowding, and you're right, Finbob possibly going to be sent to the steward's room after that one. That was a little bit suspect, I suppose you could say, as we head on through, continuing the battle. Oh goodness me, that's not what we expected at all, but this race burst into life a little bit then. But Ogwin is pulling a gap at the front. It's 1.7 seconds. He is the man on form.
Absolutely, Gav. He's just held his own. And wasn't too adventurous at the start, just held his own, knew he could utilise DRS and those tyres later on in the first stint, and it's done well. Obviously allowed Supply Raptor through on those quicker tyres, and it's done great so far. It held his own. Finbar folding through, obviously with that contact on the previous lap. That could be a penalty we mentioned, as Supply Raptor is going to look like going to fly by. Maybe not. I don't think he's close enough. Can he get on the brake? No, he can't. He'll stay behind for now. Quantum in the back, but not being able to make his way through just yet. But it's all kicked off in the last 2 laps. It's all happening, and Shazoo looking in a great position now, and it could well be this standing to put them ahead after this race.
Yeah, it is very, very interesting to say the least. I was not expecting this, to be honest. This is a super moment in time for those guys. They're doing a fantastic job, I guess. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, they're running their own race, aren't they? The guys with Shazoo. I mean, even the BRT guys are up there. Obviously, that could, as we mentioned, what could happen with him after. But crowding still within touching distance of the Shazoo drivers. Obviously, Supply FRT trying his best to claw his teammates, his team back in, but the typical down in 70th not ideal. But he has just recently pitted, so that could be why. But onto the back straight they go, the top drivers. But look at the gap that Ogwin is pulling at 2.7. He's running away with it at the moment, so we won't concentrate on him at the moment. It could be crowding flies on by Supply Raptor.
Yeah, it's Supply Raptor struggling now. Tyres, definitely tyres, which is causing this, because here comes Quantum as well, up the inside. Supply Raptors now has Nail behind him, dropping a little bit like a stone. So definitely going to be throwing in now a set of hards. I think we've lost Bourbon Boy as well as Typical. The other two medium runners to the hards as well. As there goes Supply Raptor into the pits. Is there any wing damage? Let's have a look as he goes into the pits and see if there is any sort of wing change. There isn't. He didn't pick up any damage, but we're pretty certain Gabble did, which is unfortunate because Gabble, you kind of think, deserved to take the victory of this race.
Yeah, he was doing well. You know, quickest in qualifying by almost 0.4 of a second. He was doing great, and he was just being passed by Dettel there in P11 and P12. I think he is missing an end plate on the right side. Got another yellow flag, and I think that's Bobbus has made a mistake, Gareth. So the talk of Shazoo doing well has maybe cursed them, and that's Bobbus around. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that car from this camera angle, but Bobbus, who was up in 4th place, now down to 8th.
That was a double mistake. That was a mistake into turn 5, and then a mistake in the early part of sector 2, turn 8. He is struggling, I think, for grip. Maybe the tyres have overheated. I'm not 100% sure what's happened because he was in with a great chance, but bang, all of a sudden, BRT are the team to look out for in this one as Aronka and Kieran Nag swapping positions just ahead. But let's go back and see how the BRT team work together in this one, because this is huge.
Yeah, they're both on the same strategy. Both started on the hard composite tyres, so they're going to have to work together, not to double stack here as well. Usually it's the driver ahead that has priority, but I'm sure they'll discuss and see who feels quicker at this point in the circuit. Well, sorry, on the race. Liam Hardman gets a penalty down in P17 for TIE, but whether obviously 3 seconds split in first and second at the moment. These guys can work together, especially around the DRS areas. Something to keep an eye on. Yellow flag in sector 1. Someone else has made a mistake, unfortunately, down there. But yeah, 3.1 splitting first and second. Can they close that gap using DRS on these working together in on lap 12 here?
Well, you'd think they'd have to, or otherwise Ogween is going to run away with this one. He's had, until it all kicked off, he was having quite a quiet race. He was happy just sitting back, waiting. And I suppose he waited for the prime opportunity and went full on it. And, now has that 3.3 second lead to this race. Finbob and BRT. The BRT team really need to work this one out and to a better standard. TTM, Detol has retired, and that is a safety car, which has changed things up just a little bit more. Everyone surely throwing themselves into the pit lane. However, I don't think they're going to mediums to the end, and those mediums, even though the car's going to be lighter, they're going to be a struggle. Supply Raptor could be in with a great chance of taking victory. I don't know who shouted. It was a couple of people who said Supply Raptor in the chat. They could have an outstanding shout for the race victory tonight.
Could well do. I was just about to talk about TTM and how well they're doing. Nail obviously high up there, but keep an eye on Supply Raptor here as he comes flying past the pit after pitting earlier on. He's up into P3 now, so back where he was previously, and stroke of luck for him. But this course will also allow NVR to obviously rework the strategy now. They've been able to obviously have quicker pit stops with everything that's gone on. Quantum back up to 4th now. Obviously Gabor down in 13th, which is obviously quite a track to go. But like you mentioned, those drivers, like after a lot of laps on those mediums, we saw how quickly they fell off once they got to about lap 8. And we're going to have 10 racing laps, so they could struggle the last 2 or 3 laps on those set of mediums compared to those hard runners. Well, it's only Supply Raptor and Typical. And out of nowhere could FRT get a whole host of points with how long your tyres will last compared to the other drivers.
This is insane. I'm pretty certain the mediums will go to the end, and we've seen weirder things happen. BRT Adam, I had gone to the gap to leader, but unfortunately with the safety car, I don't think it's worth it right now. So, yeah, it's very, very odd, isn't it? This is... all of it. I feel for Ogween, obviously, because he did what he had to do at that point, getting a 3-second gap, and now he has to do it all over again, and defend like a absolute trooper because it's going to be DRS games all over again.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Going down that back straight. Is DRS enabled directly in the first lap again? Or was it after 3 laps? I can't remember now.
I think it's the lap after.
Lap after, okay. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he's going to have to try his best on the restart. It's going to be difficult, obviously. There aren't really any corners to go around it. It's flat out. So hopefully just waiting on Neon and Liam Harman to get the back of the train, and hopefully we'll get running. Has anyone pulled themselves into the pits here? Don't think anyone has. I say that they're Liam Hardman into the pits. I don't think he trusts the mediums, Gareth. He's going to go in and chuck on a set of hards, unless he's got damage to that front wing. It doesn't look like, looking at the his pit crew. He goes and doesn't trust the mediums, Gareth. He's gone onto a set of hards.
I suppose it depends how long these mediums stay out for. Mediums stay out for. That's not a safety car, is it? It really depends how long this safety car stays out for, because you're at this moment in time, you're on that precipice of when we saw the likes of Bourbon Boy and Supply Raptor really struggle at this point, this many laps now till the end of the Grand Prix, struggle with their performance in their cars. So this is new territory, I suppose, for these guys. I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't think many people thought we'd have a safety car in this race. I appreciate the street circuit, but there's about 6 lanes worth of distance on this circuit at a time. So, well, of course, it happened at one of the pinch points, which obviously is turn 12. 14's another one coming through. 7, 8 is another section that's quite tight and twisty. So, what's going to happen at that point. Surprised it didn't, Gabor didn't bow out this race really with what happened, with the contact he had with his teammates. But yeah, we just see whether the safety car pulls in a lap. I don't think it's going to, is it, on this occasion? The light is still flashing. It went straight out my mouth, and the safety car's going in on this lap.
we had a late, was it last week at Qatar? We had a late call for the safety car. It might have been Zandvoort the week before. I'm not 100% sure, but everyone vigorously warming up their medium tyres on that lap down the back straight there. Hopefully they haven't taken too much performance out of that. We'll have to wait and see. When does Old Green decide enough's enough, and enough is enough, and he's decided to go a little bit of a wheel spin out of the exit of that. But Supply Raptor's under immense pressure already from Quantum, but it wasn't to be. Quantum decided he couldn't get the move done, but both FRT drivers are in a wonderful position, like you mentioned a little bit earlier on. Crowding unable to keep up with Ogween at the moment, but Supply Raptor holding station with Quantum as they head down into turn 5 for the 15th time tonight, and it is looking relatively safe for the time being for the top 4 drivers. The few positional changes behind, and you kind of feel sorry for Bourbon Boy, who's thrown himself in for another set of mediums, who started the race on mediums. He was up into the top 6, and it's not worked out for him.
No, it hasn't. Unfortunately, down in 13th, teammate not far behind as well. But again, still 10.5 laps remaining of this race. Plenty of time for things to change. And we saw a safety car popped out. It could happily have another one in this race. But Crowding's hit the wall on the outside of 12 there, on the rear of the car. But it cost him a little bit of time here. Like I said, I don't think we'll have in this opening restart, so we'll keep going here in Las Vegas. But Supply Raptor again looking very quick down the straight, but not close enough at the moment. Hops over the curb, they go through 16 there, and again not close enough to make any moves. Haven't really seen many moves coming into turn 1, apart from on the opening lap. DRS is now enabled, but could see Crowding get past our race leader here if they can get a good run out of 3 and 4.
Yeah, and they need to. I think Crowding and Ogween kind of need to work together in all this to move away from the FRT team, because they're going to be incredibly strong come the end of this Grand Prix and probably be the ones to watch. We'll have to wait and see. But Crowding, well, being crowded by Supply Raptor as they head into turn 5, and Ogween decides to put his foot down, and Supply Raptor looks like he's possibly in for a move as they head on through this tight, twisty 7, 8 and 9, but the grip levels on BRT Crowding's car is more favourable, as I think there was even a little bit of a mistake from Supply Raptor, because all of a sudden Quantum is all over the back of him, and this could be a move territory as they turn through 11 into 12. Is he going to dart up the inside? He thinks better of it, and then I think the DRS is going to save Supply Raptor as they head on down.
Yeah, again, I don't think I've ever seen many moves into 12. There's almost no point with the DRS, but look at the speed difference Quantum has. He's going to get flying by before they even open the DRS rear wing there. Oh, a bit of a mistake. Maybe I think it was a bit of a glitch on my screen. Looked like he went sideways all of a sudden, but Quantum up into P3 now, Gareth. Great move by him. Crowding not far away either. In the back, Runka looking for a move up the inside of typical. So those medium tyres are working wonders at the moment over the two hard runners we've got here in the top 6. And Runka, we're not spoken too much about him in this race, but doing his best for the Alien Motorsport team.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job. I think he also was the one that did the wonderful job that got them some huge points before Silo was racing for them. But into turn 5 now, it is very single file. Ogween seems to have some great presence through this part of the track as well. Turn 6 to 9, he seems to be able to build a little bit of a gap to the cars behind, and just makes him a little bit comfortable as they head down turn 9, from turn 9 into turn 12, which is done very, very well at the moment for Ogween, as BRT Crowding pulling away from Quantum as well. 3 different teams in the top 3 positions. It's great to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 different teams in the top 5 as well. But you know, it doesn't matter. It's still a great fighting. But Quantum looking exceptionally quick. Yeah, can he make another move on this back straight? I think Crowding's a little bit quicker in the straight line than Supply Raptor was in the previous lap, and no moves as of yet. Oh, almost kissed the back of that kicks out of a car there, but doesn't make any moves as of yet. But can he get him into turn 1 here? Again, very little moves at this corner in the race to get onto lap 18 here, but no moves as of yet. Supply Raptor, he's not giving up. He's still within touching distance of the drivers, and he's hoping the more they fight, the better place he'll be going forward in near the end of the race.
It's exactly what he needs to do as well. Just hang on for a couple more laps. Be in there with a chance with 3-4 laps remaining, and it could be the best thing that's happened to him and the FRT team. It is very, very tight at the moment. Gabble gets past Mulder for P10, so MVR Gabble trying his best to claw his way back into some point scoring positions here. He's doing a good job of it at the moment, or higher point scoring positions. But this time around, through the tight and twisty 7, 8 and 9, Ogween hasn't been as imperious as he has been in the past, which has allowed Crowding, and Crowding just taps the back end of turn 12 as they head now onto Las Vegas Boulevard, all the way down into turn number 14. It looks like Ogween could be under a little bit of pressure as they look through it. This is a very, very long straight. You forget how long it is. To the inside, does Crowding go? He decides better of it for the time being and stays behind Shazoo Ogween.
Yeah, so close. I thought they were going to go 3 abreast, but it's not close enough at the moment to make their way through past our coverage. He does Kieran down in 7. He gets another penalty, unfortunately, and Crowding again not close enough at the moment. I think it needs to try and maybe. It's like you mentioned, Ogween is so quick coming through 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's giving him enough space when it comes to that main straight, and that's allowing him to stay ahead and doing exactly what he needs to do, because they can't catch him on the straight enough to put anything down the inside. So we'll see whether Crowding can just keep up with him on this through this section. Any more yellow flags? I think that's Misha making a mistake coming into. Oh God, where is that car? Oh, so gone straight on at turn 5. It looks like.
It looked like the problems Bobberts had earlier on, and it's unfortunate for the AMS team driver there. And again, Arguin through that 7, 8 and 9 sector of the track has really struggled. And as they come down the Las Vegas Boulevard, it's surely just a matter of time for Crowding and maybe even Quantum to dispatch Arguin. And it's so close as they hit turn 13, the apex of 13. Surely DRS wide open to the inside. Crowding has to go. He doesn't. He's sticking behind. Surely that's not a lift from Crowding there. Is he just sizing Arguin up in all this? It could very well be.
Maybe, but you would have thought you've sized him up plenty of times. He's been behind that Red Bull car for a long time now and has not taken opportunities to get past. Maybe he's feeling that dirty air is affecting that car, maybe, but you'd think you try and get out to that and try and get by, utilise as many points as you can. In this race, Finn Bob is all the way down in 8th now, not helping him, obviously with regard to the team. Does he pop it down the inside again? He's lifting off. Maybe he just feels he's going to wait to the final lap and utilise it there. They've both got similar ERS usage, but if Crowding carries on taking his time, Quantum is going to try and utilise that move and get past the second place man.
Supply Raptor has been tagged by a Ronca, and now that has allowed him to claim 4th place, and Supply Raptor down to 8th now. That's not ideal for him, and I did see Quantum clip the wall, but I don't think there's any lasting damage to that McLaren at the moment, and the NVR driver is there. Supply Raptor's got Gabor behind for company, and that could very well end with an NVR driver getting another position. It's currently P9. He's all over the back of the hard runner at the moment, and Mulder and Kieran side by side as they come through. A little bit of action there. Is that Finn Bob trying to get past TTM driver of Nail Goulet? He has indeed, and that's allowed MVR Gabble, who is now up into 8th place, have a little sniff up the inside as they head down towards the start-finish straight and into turn number 17, and that is surely Gabble going to get a move done on Finn Bob as well. No, he's decided better of it. He's come very close, and there's a bit of contact between the two of them, and this is not over yet, Ollie.
No, definitely not. They're switching backwards and forwards. Unfortunately for Gabor, Finn Bob's got DRS now, and he should be able to hold him there. Supply Raptor's got past Nail as well in the background, so Nail falling away incredibly quickly in the last couple of corners, losing 3 places in no more than 5 or 6 corners there. So not ideal for TTM there, with only one driver left in the race as well. But this top group have really gotten away now. There's top 9 have broken away from the rest of the group. Mulder trying his best to claw himself and his teammate back towards it. But at the moment, they're trying to get away. But again, just this huge DRS trend, Gareth, and no one really making any moves down it. It's happening almost at the exit of the DRS straight, or obviously coming into turn 1 at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants the lead of this Grand Prix, do they? It's that sort of race. 21, lap 21. Sorry, I should say. It's so tight for these guys, and there goes Gabor past Finn Bob, or side by side with Finn Bob through 14, 15, and 16, and it's Tokyo drifting, or Las Vegas drifting at the end of Las Vegas Boulevard there, and somehow Gabor holds on, and he's going to hold on into turn 1. Crowding still hasn't made a move on Arguin.
No, he's just taking his time. They're buying his time, and this is allowing everyone else to close in, I guess. Like I said, that's why this train seems to be so large at the moment. And Gabor, from a man who was done and out of this Grand Prix, now up to 6th place. Again, he's pushing really hard on those tyres, so that could affect him at the end of this Grand Prix. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Typical's also got a penalty in P5, and that, with how close everyone is on circuit, isn't going to help him. Arunca now up to P4. It's keep an eye on him. We've not spoken again much about the Italy Motorsport team, but again, doing a great job. Obviously, teammate not so well after the mistake of 5 and had to go straight on. But keep an eye on Arunca. But Crowding looks to be the closest he's been in a while. But again, making mistakes at the exit of 14 is costing time there.
Yeah, down the Las Vegas Boulevard, and there's a yellow flag, and that is Kieran Nag there that's had an issue. Surely he hasn't had an issue with his teammate, because that would have been unfortunate there. Let's see, nothing up the inside for Crowding at all. He's just thinking better of it at the moment. It looked like someone went straight on at turn 14, but thankfully they didn't make the corner. I think that was Supply Raptor, who could very well be ruining a missed opportunity here as they cross onto lap 23. 3 laps remaining, and it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, I was on board with Crowding, Gareth, and he was close enough to make the move, but lifted off behind Ogwyn. So doesn't feel he wants to lead this race, obviously, and he feels that he's better off staying behind him and maybe make an attack on the final couple of laps. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But again, if he waits too long here, it'll allow Quantum through. So he's got to be careful and of his defence as well as his attack in the last couple of laps here in Las Vegas. Quantum and Arunca looking very racy behind, and Typical could utilise those tyres here. I don't feel the mediums have really gone off at all in this second part, but you never know, they could fall off a cliff all of a sudden. As very wide by Arunca hits the wall, and that's going to allow Typical straight on through.
Let's have a look at Arunca. Is he going to get claimed by more than one? No, Gabor doesn't make a move. Back to the leaders, and because they've been so tentative down the Las Vegas Boulevard, I think this is why their tyres aren't as used as others, possibly. The medium runners from the beginning of the race. Obviously, the cars were heavier then, and Arunca's trying to get back past FRT Typical. He has done on this occasion. Gabor does also follow suit, and is it going to be 2? No, it's Gabor decides better of it. And poor MVR not having a best of luck there. There's a little bit of a love tap from Typical there. Back to the leaders on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, and Shasu Ogwyn currently leading. He's led for, well, quite a large majority of this race ever since Gabor and Quantum had that coming together.
Absolutely, yeah, and look how close they are coming through turn 5, neck and neck. Going to split these cars with a piece of paper. That's how close they are coming through some of these corners. And that's again, Arunca making a mistake. Could allow Gabor up into P4. Got to be careful here, but is this the moment now to attack, Gareth? Quantum, does he make a move on Crowding finally to try take P2 and then try and get Ogwyn on the final lap? You know, he's got to take a limited chance left in this race.
Into turn 12, really tight. And it looked like there's some damage in the background, but I don't think it was. Ogwyn makes a very, very good corner, while Crowding, I think, a little bit weaker as they head down into the Las Vegas Boulevard for the 24th and penultimate time, and surely to the inside. Crowding has to think about it. He doesn't. He stays behind. He is going to wait for the final lap, but I think that means Quantum is going to go for it, but he can't get there in the end. And the TTM driver and Nail can't get past Supply Raptor either. And it's going to be tight as they head on down through turn 16 now into 17 and onto the final straight. It is becoming a huge gaggle of cars, and all of a sudden Gabor's going to get into third place if Quantum's not careful. And around goes Crowding. Something's happened there, and Ogwyn's there. I think there's been contact.
Contact between Ogwyn and Crowding there, and that's allowed both McLarens through, and Ogwyn takes the lead once again. I think he was ghosting coming through 3 and 4, but look at the gaggle of cars behind the Typical trying to go around the outside. Oh, there's more contact between Typical and Arunca. Arunca just about holds P4, but Typical on the inside coming through 6. Up the inside, he goes through, coming through turn 6. That's not a move we usually see. You have the inside for the next corner, and surely not 2 abreast through here. They're going to try, they just about do. Gabor's got the better exit here, but that's costing Gareth. That's costing him a heap of time. He's now over a second behind his teammate, and this could be Gabor in trouble. But Quantum, is he too far back here?
Let's go to the leaders. Who's going to win this on track? It's been absolutely hectic all the way through this Grand Prix. We've had MVR collisions with each other. We've had Alguin leading. We've had Supply Raptor giving us a good race. But all of a sudden, as they come down not the Hampshire Boulevard, oh goodness me, Las Vegas Boulevard for the last time, is Quantum going to dart up the inside? He thinks better of it. Has he decided to save some ERS as they come through, down through turn 16 into turn 17 for the final time? Surely he's going to be deploying everything he can across the line. Quantum, has he got enough in the tank? He started to harvest. It's going to be close, but it's going to be Ogween's day, and MVR going to be counting surely how unlucky they are.
You're absolutely right, Gav. But to come back from where they are, you can't deny that was a hell of a return by the MVR team. Both drivers in the wall. Damage to the car. Safety cars obviously helped them. But Gabor, what a return drive. To be down and out of this race and manage to bring it back to third is a great job. Same with, obviously, BRT on their tails, but there will be a penalty for, well, potentially both of them with a contact at turn 1 with separate drivers. So that could be, that could be a change of the lead in the standings.
It could very well be. It's Shizou, and Anyway, quickly, if it doesn't come up on my screen, Ollie, please grab the screenshot of the race final positions. Arunco gets driver of the day. Everyone else, please tell us who you think your driver of the day should be. Ollie, I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that one yourself, as it is a Shizou, MVR, BRT finish to this Grand Prix. Bobbitts is going to be annoyed that maybe he did have some wheel issue or pedal issues, but he's going to be annoyed because he was up there in a good position at some points in this race. But it is going to be Ogween that is celebrating the victory on this one. There's going to be a few stewards and inquiries for sure, and I don't envy the stewards in this one tonight. But some tough, strong racing, a safety car. The only thing we didn't get is rain, and we have. God, finally, this has been a while. I haven't had one of these in a while. It's Shizou Ogween that takes victory from Quantum and Gabor rounding out the podium finishing position. Then you've got Finbob crowding, Avrunka, Nell, Supply Raptor, typical Mulder, Bourbon Boy, Neon Lolpole, Liam Hardman, Bobbitts, and Kieran rounding out the point scoring positions. We didn't get no points for AMS Misha, and no finishing for Kieran Derry or TTM Detol. Whew. There we go. That is the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Ollie. And there you have it.
Yeah, absolutely. What a race that was. Non-stop. A bit more overtaking than we saw at Qatar, which is good to see. But obviously, safety car and the MVR team they'll be kicking themselves because they should have run away with that race, really. To come back to second and third, it was a great haul of points for them, but they'll be kicking themselves not being able to fully utilise what they could have done there. But that should take them up. Well, I don't know. I'll have to double check the points, but that will definitely bring them closer, if not jump BRT. In there, TTM are going to fall back even further, and Shizou might be able to jump a few places with that win from Ogween there as well. So, yeah, what a race, Gareth. And it's all heating up with 3 rounds remaining of the season.
It's definitely heating up, and it's heating up in the drivers' chat as well. My goodness me. Wow, I don't think we'll be getting any podium interviews today, Ollie. It's been one of those, unfortunately. But, yeah, what a race. I don't want to say an odd one. It seemed very strategic at first, and then it burst into life when MVR had that unfortunate incident.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fairly normal race, wasn't it? Until that contact on lap 8. That's when it all changed, didn't it? That was when the catalyst that we needed in the race just really kicked off, didn't it? And we had more contact on the lap after between one of the MVR drivers and one of the BRT drivers. So it all kicked off very quickly. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that goes down. And Stewart's going to have a busy evening, I think, till we get to next week, our mystery Grand Prix. But yeah, it was a fantastic race to watch, and it went down to the wire with that safety car. And with how everyone had to go on to the mediums at the end and thought those hard tires would come into it for the FRT team, but obviously didn't go that way. So yeah, what a race that was, and another obviously great race here in CSS.
Definitely was, and we'll just wait a few more moments to see if anyone wants to join us in this one. But it's going to be very, very interesting if they do. Hopefully, there'll be some people out there that give us a driver of the day. I can't see anything in the chat so far, but Ollie, who was your driver of the day?
I mean, you can't deny, obviously, Ogwyn doing well, winning the Grand Prix from where he was. But then you can't disagree. Gabor, obviously, coming back from where he was. Special shout out to Arunca. Obviously, 15th to 5th isn't bad either. Oh, I think I think I'd give it to Quantum a second after all the adversity he had to go through in that race. Still managed a whole P2. But again, like I said, great shout outs to special mentions to our race winner, Kibble and Arunca, doing well in that race, I think.
Yeah, it was a tough one for a lot of those drivers out there tonight. I don't think we're going to get anyone to join us tonight, but final words from you, Ollie.
I mean, keep giving us a show, guys, because that was fantastic. I do hope the viewers enjoyed watching that. The drivers hopefully settle their discussion in the chat, and we'll get racing once again next week. But yeah, fantastic race in Las Vegas. Stay on the virtual calendar for a long time, Gareth. It's a lot better than our recent introductions with regard to street circuits. Vietnam being one of the worst races I think we've ever commentated over in the past. But yeah, glad to see it on the calendar, and may it long continue. May it long CSS continue with our fantastic racing.
Fantastic. Yeah, there we have it, ladies and gents. We have had an absolute insane Grand Prix in Las Vegas in America tonight. We've had incidents, we've had safety cars, and we've had a Shazoo winner. And that is going to do Shazoo a wonder of good when it comes to the standings when they get released. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.